Oh man, that is cool. Hey buds, it's Cheshire Wolf, and today we are playing Dagon. Dagon? I never really know how to pronounce that, but I had a devil of a time trying to get this to work, and I finally got it to work. I don't know why my recording software just didn't like this game for some reason. This is a free-to-play horror game based on H.P. Lovecraft, and if y'all been on the channel for a while, you know that I got a lot of complicated feelings about H.P. Lovecraft, but I do love the Lovecraft mythos. I got this mood lighting on. I'm excited. I've played The Shore previously, which is currently my favorite H.P. Lovecraft horror game, but I've heard good things about this. Dagon? I like Dagon better. I'm going to say Dagon. Dagon is a faithful interactive adaptation of H.P. Lovecraft's work, focused on story and atmosphere. You will not find difficult choices, action sequences, or inventory management here, and movement is limited to progressing through locations along with the plot. So, it's very straightforward, and that's fine. It says what's on the tin. That's good. Dagon was one of my favorite H.P. Lovecraft stories as a kid, because I read all his stuff as a kid. Probably shouldn't have. But it's about this giant underwater demon monster from the dawn of time, and no, it's not Cthulhu, it's Dagon.
I am writing this under an appreciable mental strain, since by tonight I shall be no more.
Fully voice acted, that's kind of cool. Okay. During the game, you'll encounter interactive elements. Some of them will allow you to continue your journey, others reveal interesting facts about the original short story. Some of the trivia is hidden. Focus your eyes with the right mouse button. Look for the Elder sign. You can also access the found facts later. They'll be available in the main menu. Cool. I don't know how deep I will be looking at stuff.
Penniless, and at the end of my supply of the drug which alone makes life endurable, I can bear the torture no longer, and shall cast myself from this garret window into the squalid street below.
This is like a faithful adaptation. I'm pretty sure this is like the actual like quotes from the book, which I think is pretty cool. Do not think
from my slavery to morphine that I am a weakling or a degenerate.
No, I don't blame
you.
you.
When you have read these hastily scrawled pages, you may guess, though never fully realize, why it is that I must have forgetfulness
or death. I cut him off there, sorry. Yeah, no, that's cool. That's really cool.
It was in one of the most open and least frequented parts of the broad Pacific that the packet of which I was supercargo fell a victim to the German sea raider.
Yeah, I have not read this story in years, but I'm pretty sure this is lifted directly from the story, which I think is super cool. Oh man, that's awesome.
The Great War was then at its very beginning, and the ocean forces of the Hun had not completely sunk to their later degradation.
Oh man.
So that our vessel was made a legitimate prize, whilst we of her crew were treated with all the fairness and consideration due us as naval prisoners.
And it's like, it's essentially a point-and-click game on rails, but like, the graphics are really pretty for a point-and-click game. Oh, Elder Sign Secret. Okay. Wow, that's a lot of history. That's really cool. I'm not gonna read all that because it's just history, but that is very cool. I gotta keep my eye out for those things. Okay.
So liberal, indeed, was the discipline of our captors.
Oh man,
that 5 days after we were taken, I managed to escape alone in a small boat with water and provisions for a good length of time.
Anything? Okay. Nope, we're going. Get in the boat. Oh, provisions, baby. So it's captured
when I finally found myself adrift and free.
Soldiers.
I had but little idea of my surroundings.
Is this a little too loud? Is this like a little too loud for you? I hope it's a good
Never a
quality.
competent navigator. I could only guess vaguely by the sun and stars,
oh, man,
but I was somewhat south of the equator.
Pretty. It's really pretty. Oh, it really does remind me of The Shore too.
I knew nothing, and no island or coastline was in sight.
If you want to watch me play The Shore, link will be in the description. Such a good H.P. Lovecraft game. I love that game. Such cool graphics. Okay, let me try to navigate by the sun.
The weather kept fair, and for uncounted days I drifted aimlessly beneath the scorching sun, waiting either for some passing ship or to be cast on the shores of some habitable land.
Oof. Being lost at sea is like a nightmare. I hate the ocean. Like, it's cool, and I love that it's there, but it's so scary. What am I looking for? Running out of water, right? How you
but
gonna get
neither
water?
ship nor land appeared, and I began to despair in my
Oh,
solitude.
that's cool. I can't even see anything but the sky. I also think I cut him off again. If I click too early, I cut him off.
The change happened whilst I slept. Its details I shall never know, for my slumber, though troubled and dream-infested, was continuous.
Oh man, that is cool. Oh my god, look at that. Look at
When
that.
at last I awoke, it was to discover myself half sucked into a slimy expanse of hellish black mire, which extended about me in monotonous undulations as far as I could
That
see,
is sick.
and in which my boat lay grounded some distance away.
That's sick
Though
as
one might well
hell.
imagine that my first sensation would be of wonder at so prodigious and unexpected a transformation of scenery, I was in reality
Who would not
more
be horrified if they
than
woke up
astonished.
here? I mean,
For there
it's
was
cool,
in
but
the
only
air
from a distance.
and in the rotting soil a sinister quality which chilled me to the very core. The region was putrid with the carcasses of decaying fish and of other less describable things which I saw protruding from the nasty mud of the unending plain.
Oh, that's cool.
Perhaps I should not hope to convey in mere words
God.
the unutterable hideousness that can dwell in absolute silence and barren immensity.
I love this game. Like, it's just because I'm a nut with like old stories and shit. But like, I loved this story as a kid, and this is such a good adaptation of it. I'm only 6 minutes in, and I can already tell that this is going to be my favorite Lovecraft game.
There was
like,
nothing
oh
within
my
hearing
god.
and nothing in sight save a vast reach of black slime. Yet the very completeness of the stillness and the homogeneity of the landscape oppressed me with a nauseating fear.
Oh, wow.
The sun was blazing down from a sky which seemed to me
it?
almost black in its cloudless cruelty,
Oh, yeah,
as
there
though
it is.
reflecting the inky marsh beneath my feet.
Damn. Damn, this is good though.
As I crawled into the stranded boat, I realized
wow.
that only one theory could explain my position.
Oh, I just noticed that whole mound is like moving. It's a globster. Globsters are like big wads of unidentified flesh that wash up on beaches. Happens all the time. Usually like sharks or whales, but
Through some
you never know.
unprecedented volcanic upheaval, a portion of the ocean floor must have been thrown to the surface, exposing regions for which innumerable millions of years had lain hidden under unfathomable watery depths.
That's such a cool concept.
So great was the
It's
extent
so
of the new
cool.
land which had risen beneath me that I could not detect the faintest noise of the surging ocean, straining my ears as I might. Nor were there any seafowl to prey upon the dead things.
Yeah. It's weird. It's weird. Oh man, this is cool. I'm sorry I'm
For
like
several
geeking out, but like
hours
it's
I
so
sat
cool. I
thinking or
love this.
brooding in the boat, which lay upon its side and afforded a slight shade as the
I mean,
sun
what else can
moved
you
across
do?
the heavens.
Oh, look at that. That's so gross.
As the day progressed,
I love
the
it.
ground lost some of its stickiness and seemed likely to dry sufficiently for traveling purposes in a short time.
It's kind of just like, this
That
is like a
night I
movie,
slept
right?
but little,
It's barely
and the
a
next
game,
day
but
I
like,
made for myself a pack containing
care.
food and water, preparatory to an overland journey in search of the vanished
he's
sea
he's
and
going,
possible
trying
rescue.
to see what he can find. Oh man, those tentacles. Oh jeez. Okay, let me gather up everything I have.
On the third morning, I found the soil dry enough to walk upon with ease. The odor of
Okay.
the fish was maddening, but I was too much concerned with graver things to mind so slight an evil, and set
Should I
out
be, like,
boldly
looking
for
around?
an unknown goal.
Just in case I see the elder sign. Oh, let's go here. Okay. Horrible squishy crunchy noises. Okay.
All day I
Oh,
forged
man, what
steadily
are those?
westward, guided by a faraway
What
hummock
is
which
that?
rose higher than any other elevation on the
It
rolling
looks like
desert.
a hand. Oh, jeez. That's like the like bottom of a squid, I think. Oh, jeez. Oh, wow. This is so cool. It's so cool. It's so cool. Oh, oh my god, that's a whole ass whale. I think that's like a blue whale or a humpback whale, maybe?
That night, I encamped, and on
Oh,
the following
what is
day
that?
still travelled toward the hummock. though that
my
object
God.
seemed scarcely nearer than when I had first espied it.
God, it's so good for what it is. It's not trying to be an intense, interactive game, and it spelled that out at the beginning that it wasn't, so I'm not holding that against it at all.
I attained the base of the mound, which turned out to be much higher than it had appeared from a distance. An intervening valley setting it out in sharper relief from the general surface. Too weary to ascend, I slept in the shadow of the hill.
Okay.
I know not why my dreams were so wild that night.
Really? You don't know?
But
I
ere the
can
waning and
hazard a
fantastically
guess.
gibbous moon had risen far above the eastern plain.
Oh, gibbous. Gibbous. What a word. I love that word. It's a moon that's
I was awake
almost
in a cold
like past
perspiration,
half full, but
determined to sleep
not all
no
the
more.
way.
Such visions
Like
as I had
three-quarters.
experienced were too much for me to endure again.
Yeah,
And in the glow of the
understandable,
moon, I
buddy.
saw how unwise I had been to travel by day. Without the glare of the parching sun,
That
my
is
journey
true, that
would
is
have cost
true, that
me
is
less
true.
energy. Indeed, I now felt quite able to perform the ascent which had deterred me at sunset.
Oh, buddy, I'm yawning now because it's nighttime, but
Picking up
my
my
God.
pack, I
I don't know if
started
that's a
for
good
the crest
idea.
of the eminence.
I mean, I guess what else can you do? What else can you do?
I have said that the unbroken monotony of the rolling plain was a source of vague horror to me.
And the
But I think
narration
my
is
horror
really
was
good
greater
too.
when I gained the summit of the mound and looked down the other side into an immeasurable pit or canyon,
Ooh, okay.
whose black recesses the moon had not yet soared high enough to illumine.
Okay.
I felt myself on the edge of the world, peering over the rim into a fathomless chaos of eternal night.
Yeah,
Through my
that's
terror ran curious reminiscences of Paradise
dope
Lost
as hell.
and of Satan's hideous climb through the unfashioned realms of darkness.
Lovecraft, he has like uncountable flaws, but he does have a few strengths to his writing. And if you like purple prose, he's got your purple prose. He's got your purple prose.
As the moon climbed higher in the sky, I began to see that the slopes of the valley were not quite so perpendicular as I had imagined.
Yeah.
Ledges and outcroppings of rock afforded
yeah,
fairly
you can
easy
climb down
footholds
there.
for a descent.
I
Whilst
don't
after a
think
drop
that's a
of
good
only
idea,
a few
but
hundred feet, the declivity became very gradual.
okay, we're doing this. Now, I have read the story as a kid. I don't remember exactly how it goes. I know how it ends, but I
Urged
don't
on
know
by
how
an
it
impulse
goes.
which I cannot definitely analyze, I scrambled with difficulty down the rocks and
I
stood
guess
on the gentler
what else
slope
would you do in that
beneath,
situation? There's not really
gazing
anything
into
else
the
to
Stygian
do.
deeps, where no light had yet penetrated.
Stygian. God, the
All
words.
at once, my attention was captured by a vast and singular object on the opposite slope, which rose steeply about 100 yards ahead of me.
Obelisk.
An object that gleamed whitely in the newly bestowed rays of the
Obelisk.
ascending moon.
Obelisk. Obelisky. Yeah? It's gonna be an obelisk? Please say the word obelisk so I don't feel like a total tool for saying the word obelisk.
That it was merely a gigantic piece of stone,
That's one way
I
of
soon
putting it.
assured myself. But I was conscious of a distinct impression that its contour and position
Yeah, it
were
reminds
not
me of
altogether
the
the work
obelisk
of
in
nature.
2001 Space Odyssey with the
A closer
monkeys.
scrutiny filled me with sensations I cannot
Express. Sorry, I keep cutting this dude off. I'm just so eager. I'm so excited to get through this. I swear there's got to be like more secrets that I'm missing. Huh.
For despite its enormous magnitude and its position in an abyss which had yawned at the bottom of the sea since the world was young, I perceived beyond a doubt that the strange object was a well-shaped monolith.
I guess it was monolith in 2001 Space Odyssey too, but obelisk. I know an obelisk is like a tall pyramid, not just like a rectangle. But I like the word obelisk. Give me this
whose
one
massive
thing.
bulk had
Monolith
known
still cool.
workmanship
Monolith still
and
cool.
perhaps the worship of living and thinking creatures, dazed and frightened, yet not without a certain thrill of the scientist's or archaeologist's delight. I examined my surroundings more closely.
Let's see this monolith. Let's check this monolith out, baby. Let's see it.
The moon, now near the zenith shone weirdly and vividly above the towering steeps that hemmed in the chasm.
That's cool. It's
and
cool.
revealed the fact that a far-flung body of water flowed at the bottom, winding out of sight in both directions, and almost
Try not to yawn, like I'm tired,
as I stood
but
on the slope.
Oh man.
Across the chasm, the wavelets washed the base of the Cyclopean monolith.
Cyclopean.
I
love that word. I love it.
And crude.
I keep cutting it off. I gotta stop doing that. Okay, let's see this. I am so excited to see what's on.
The writing was in a system of hieroglyphics unknown to me. And
that's
unlike
Cthulhu in the center. That's
books,
Cthulhu for sure.
Consisting for the most part of conventionalized aquatic symbols such as fishes, eels, octopi, crustaceans, mollusks, whales, and the like.
Fish, if you will.
Several characters obviously represented marine things which are unknown to the modern world.
Yeah.
But whose decomposing forms I had observed on the ocean.
Weird squid monsters, yeah,
it
for
was
sure.
The
Oh, I see some
pictorial
turtles
carving,
there.
However, that did most to hold me spellbound.
Ah, see? That's a secret. Dagon contains themes and storytelling methods Lovecraft developed later in his work, such as telling the story through carvings, like in The Mountains of Madness, journals and character notes, like The Hunter in the Dark, Islands Emerging from the Ocean, The Call of Cthulhu. So Dagon is basically the original story that eventually led to The Call of Cthulhu. This is the OG. Dagon is the OG water monster from Lovecraft's work, but no one remembers my man Dagon. Everyone is all like, Cthulhu this and Cthulhu that, and Cthulhu is cool. Like, don't get me wrong, Cthulhu is cool, but this is the OG. You have to give props to it, and Cthulhu is fine, but it's also a little ridiculous. You know, it's a dude with the squid, the tentacle face, and the wings and everything. It's a little over the top. I have to prefer Dagon to Cthulhu. Let's go back and keep going
Plainly
here.
visible across the intervening water, on account of their enormous size, were an array of bas-reliefs whose subjects would have excited the envy of a doré.
I don't know what a doré
I think
is.
that these things were supposed to depict men, at least a certain sort of
Fishmen.
men. Though the
The deep
creatures were
ones.
shown disporting like fishes in the waters of some marine
Yeah, or
grotto,
merpeople. Same thing.
or
Same
paying
thing.
homage at some monolithic shrine, which appeared to be under the waves as well.
Yeah.
Of their faces and forms I dare not speak in detail,
They're not that bad.
for the mere remembrance makes me grow faint.
They're not that bad.
Grotesque beyond the imagination of a Poe or a Bulwer.
Okay, that's actually pretty. That's some pretty messed up
They
faces.
were damnably human in general outline, despite webbed hands and feet, shockingly wide and flabby lips,
Okay.
glassy, bulging eyes, and other features less pleasant to recall.
Yeah, that's
Curiously
kind of
enough,
messed up.
they seem to have been chiseled badly out of proportion with their scenic background.
Yeah.
For one of the creatures was shown in the act of killing a whale, represented as
Yeah.
but little larger than himself.
Yeah, these guys, big.
I
They
remarked,
are very,
as I say, their grotesqueness
very
and
big.
strange size, but in a moment decided that they were merely the imaginary gods of some primitive fishing or seafaring tribe.
Don't hold your breath, buddy.
Some tribe whose last descendant had perished eras before the first ancestor of the Piltdown or Neanderthal man was born.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Awestruck at this unexpected glimpse into a past beyond the conception of the most daring anthropologist.
And the Dagon, the reason they have Cthulhu here also is like in later stories and the expansion of the Lovecraft mythos, Dagon was basically relegated to being a subordinate of Cthulhu, kind of like his little like toady yes man to Cthulhu. I think Dagon should be the one in charge, not Cthulhu, but that's neither here nor there.
Musing whilst the moon cast queer reflections.
A
on
queer
the silent
reflection is what I
channel
say every
before
time I
me.
look in the mirror. Hey!
Then,
Oh, bad
suddenly,
jokes, bad jokes,
I
bad
saw
jokes.
it.
Okay.
With only a slight churning to mark its rise to the surface, the thing slid into
Oh,
view
here we
above
go.
the dark waters.
Here we go. Let me see it.
It darted like a stupendous monster of nightmares.
The way it just like jumped up there. Kind of funny.
About which it flung its gigantic scaly arms.
Okay,
It bowed its
okay.
hideous head and gave vent to certain measured sounds.
Was there like a little flash there for you? Because there's a weird little flash
I
there.
think I went mad then.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, you're kind of like delirious from the heat and
ascent
stuff.
of the sloping cliff and of my delirious journey
Delirious.
back to the
I love the word
stranded boat.
delirious too. Okay, I'm running. We're running.
I
Oh,
believe I sang a great deal and
That's
laughed oddly
cool.
when I was unable to sing.
okay. Okay, that is some cool visuals, my dude.
I have indistinct recollections of a great storm sometime after I reached the boat.
Is that gonna like fill everything up with water?
I know that I heard pearls of thunder and other tones which nature utters only in her wildest moods.
Okay. We love to see it. Yeah, the Dagon
When
reveal
I
there
came
was
out
like,
of the
it was
shadows,
so.
I was in
Oh, I keep cutting it
brought
off. San
thither
Francisco
by the
Hospital.
captain of the American ship which had picked up my boat in mid-ocean.
Yeah.
In my delirium, I had said much, but found that my words had been given scant attention.
Yeah, people
Of
not
any
gonna
land
believe you about
upheaval
giant
in the
fish dudes.
Pacific, my rescuers knew nothing, nor did I deem it necessary to insist upon a thing which I knew they could not believe.
I mean, this is what, like Victorian times? Like, you're gonna get some electroshock therapy if you keep
Once I
babbling
sought
that
out
kind
a
of thing.
celebrated ethnologist
Okay.
and amused him with peculiar questions regarding the ancient Philistine legend of Dagon, the fish god.
Dagon. I was pronouncing it right. Okay. What's this? Dagon is an actual god from mythology. Good info. If you want to read that, you can pause on that.
But soon perceiving
I
that he was
see you.
hopelessly conventional,
I see
I
you with
did
that
not
little
press my
Necronomicon
inquiries.
Easter egg. I see you. Yep. August DERLETH. August DERLETH is the dude who basically, he brought the Cthulhu Mythos into what it is now, and is basically the creator of the Cthulhu Mythos. He just borrowed a bunch of stuff from Lovecraft, so props to DERLETH for really bringing it into the modern times. The marketer, yeah, it's stuff about Lovecraft, which is, it's cool, I guess. Back here. Cool. Anything hidden? Secret? What am I... First time I've really had multiple choices here. I guess I'll go over here. Not sure why I could go over there, but...
It is at night,
we're back
especially
here.
when the moon is gibbous and waning, that I see
Gibbous.
the thing.
Yeah.
I tried morphine, but the drug has given only transient surcease, and has drawn me into its clutches as a hopeless slave.
One time in the hospital, because of health issues, doctors gave me some morphine, and yeah, I can see why it would be addictive, because holy shit, that stuff hits you hard. It
So
really
now,
does.
I am to end it all, having written a full account for the information or the contemptuous amusement of my fellow men.
Oh, so he's gonna kill himself. Is that what I got from that? He's gonna end it all?
Often, I ask myself if it could not all have been a pure phantasm, a mere freak of fever, as I lay sun-stricken and raving in the open boat after my escape from the German man of war.
Could be, but it isn't.
This I ask myself, but ever does there come before me a hideously vivid vision in reply.
Or the
I
music
cannot
build.
think of the deep sea
Yeah.
without shuddering at the nameless things that may at this very moment be crawling and floundering on its slimy bed.
Let me see something rise up from the
worshipping
depths
their
here. I want to see it.
ancient stone idols and carving their own
Yeah.
detestable likenesses on submarine obelisks of water-soaked granite. I dream
yes.
of the day when they may rise above the billows to drag down into their reeking talons the remnants of puny, war-exhausted mankind.
Yeah.
Of a day when
Yeah.
the land shall sink and the dark ocean shall ascend amidst universal pandemonium.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's the Statue of Liberty. Oh, man.
The end is near.
Yeah, that was
I hear a
dope.
noise at the door, as of some immense slippery body lumbering against it.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It shall not find me.
I think he's gonna kill himself first. Oh. Yeah,
God,
here it is.
That hand!
Oh. Yeah.
The window! The window!
Okay, I guess we're going out the window. Yeah. That was good. 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 What are the DLCs? Okay, so current DLC that's out is basically a bunch of like ebooks and like audiobooks and stuff, which is really cool. And then the little glass box DLC, which is upcoming, is going to be like an actual little expansion for the game where they do another story like this. So that was super cool. I loved that. I loved that. I do think that this captured the spirit of the original story perfectly. This is a perfect adaptation of Dagon. The only criticism that I might have is that Dagon's appearance by the monolith was a little so-so. It looked like the Hulk, but as a fish man. So as far as Lovecraft stories to go, this is like the perfect Lovecraft story because it really captures that sense of cosmic horror, the ocean fear, the fear of the unknown, while not being as like absolutely blatantly racist as a lot of H.P. Lovecraft's other stories. Great adaptation, great game. I loved that. If you want to play this yourself, I'll leave a link in the description. Consider supporting the developer if you're interested in like their audiobooks, or you can wish list this new game that's going to come out, or this new expansion to this game. And if you want to watch me play similar games, I'll have a link down to my playthrough of The Shore, which is this but as a full-on game with like giant monsters and stuff. It's really cool. So thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate all of you, and feel free to leave a like, comment, or even subscribe to my channel if you so wish, because it does my little heart so good. Mwah. I will see you next time, and until next time, why don't you learn some cool ocean facts, because it's deep and it's dark and we don't know what's down there. So I'll see you next time. Cha-ching!